Hi, guys.
Hey everybody. Hey, Liz. Hey, how's everybody doing?
Good.
I'm
Hey
an
there,
emotional poster, so I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. Hey, Joan, good to see you. Hon.
Good to see you. Thanks for the link. I don't know why I can never get onto your meeting. I only work in
Why?
technology.
Because we didn't post
I
it.
didn't post it.
Okay. I only work in technology, right?
I was gonna say you were blind, but
No, this is my brain on drugs. So when I'm taking meds, we're back to reality. So it's just like, oh, come on, people.
this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
All right.
Brains and emotions all over the place. So give everybody a couple of minutes. Sandy, hey, good to see you, hon.
We got 5 on here, and we got 1,
Good to
2,
see you.
5,
Good to
6,
see you,
7,
sweetie. We've
8,
missed
9
you.
over there.
We missed everybody.
Actually, yeah, we missed everyone.
No doubt. It's
You,
been
my
a long-
goodness.
been a long couple weeks.
Yes, sir. All right.
Okay.
You want me to go ahead? We're gonna do something different this time, especially for our free support group. We're gonna do a little different. We have had so many blessings come our way. We want to thank everybody for their blessings, their support, their love, any way, any form, whatever you guys did. It was amazing. We thank you so much. And because of that, I want to start out with a prayer. I know I normally don't do this, but we are God-fearing people and we believe. And if anybody has a problem, I'm sorry, but this is the way we roll tonight. I just want to say, first off, I want to say, Lord, thank you. Thank you for all the blessings that you've given us, given our group, given the people that all are out there. We thank you for your love, your mercy, and your grace that we don't deserve and you give freely anyway. Lord, we didn't know what you had in store for us on this journey, but now that we looking back, we can see, and we are just in awe of all your power, might, and mercy. And Lord, we just thank you. We want to lift you up. We want to lift all the people up on here and just touch them any way that you can, and just let them know that you are there and you will always be there no matter what. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hello, everybody. We're back.
That being said, wow. This is one of those, instead of trying to answer, I know there's so many texts I wasn't able to get back to, and it's just been so overwhelming, with gratitude and grace and love and forgiveness and everything that, sorry.
You're fine. You got it.
We just want to say, I know there's a purpose for us to be here, and God's not quite ready for me yet. And I just want to say thank you and that we love each of you so much. But I want to tell you, now that we've had time to just stop and reflect and look back, that how much God's hand was on this journey with us. And they're back to the point of, I wasn't even going to go to KetoCon in Texas. Financially, it just wasn't feasible right then. It wasn't a good call right now. And it was just one of those things that the blessings just kept opening and opening to where it was like, I just felt like I was meant to be there. And whole journey down, the whole way through, the blessings of Miss Vicky, letting me come in and stay with her, the blessings of having Dr. Boz and Angela and Miss Vicky and Michelle and everybody down there in my corner. And when everything happened, I wasn't sure. You know, I'd never traveled alone. I had never been away from my kids, or a husband with me. So I never had to carry my own crap. So there were just so many things that this was just a first for so many things of me growing up and putting my big girl pants on and walking out whatever God's called me to do. And I truly feel I'm supposed to reach survivors. I'm supposed to reach, you know, these people that feel like they've given up on life and hope of healing. And it just seems so ironic to be able to be down there and to be able to learn and listen and share my story and grow so much that when it got time to come home, I was just ready to come home. But we had been working around the clock. We had been working like 20 hours a day, trying to get everything ready, trying to get our website up and going to see how many people we can bless and share. And it's funny how God just has a way of slamming you in the face and saying, slow down and get it together and walk it out as we're called to. And I think looking back, I was probably symptomatic before I ever left and didn't realize it. I thought I was just tired and run down and stressed over leaving. So I didn't pay attention. I didn't pay attention to so many things. And when I got to Miss Vicky's, the conference was over and I was getting ready to fly home the next morning. I woke up, didn't have chest pain, didn't have anything like that. I was a little nauseous and had jaw pain. It was all up here. It was such a weird, and I'm a clencher. So I just thought I was in a strange home. I was stressed out. I was ready to go home. I was missing my family and I had the jaw pain, figured I was clenching all night and didn't have my retainer and all that good stuff. So I made 50 million excuses and didn't listen to my body. And I'm the first one that tells everybody to preach and listen to your body. So it was just one of those moments of listen to your body. And I got on the plane. We got to the airport. First of all, at Miss Vicky's, I laid down on the floor a couple of times because I felt my blood pressure drop. And I'm like, I couldn't even make it across the living room from the kitchen to the living room to get my couch or get to her couch. You okay? You got me, Cheryl? Can you hear me? Okay. And I couldn't even get to the couch. So I laid down on the floor and I wear an Apple Watch. You'd think I would have looked at my watch and realized my heart rate was down into the 40s. So got up, Miss Vicky fed me well. And you realize, I need to get up. I'm like, just get my butt on that plane and I'll get home and I'll be fine.
Nope.
I, again, didn't listen to my body, didn't listen to what was going on. So I got up, Miss Vicky fed me. We headed to the airport. We get to the one exit and Miss Vicky says, do you want to go to the hospital or do you want to go to the airport? And I'm like, good Lord, just get me on that plane. Get me home. I will be fine. I'm just dehydrated. I'm tired. I need my elements and my minerals and I will be fine. So we get to the airport. We run through TSA, which was god awful. And I'm stressed out. They made me dump my bag. It was a hot mess. So by the time I got to my gate, I go to check in and the guy at the gate says, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think I need to go over here and sit in the corner for a minute. I said, but I just need some water. I just need my minerals. And so I was able to go over and sit down and he came over again. He says, are you okay? And got me some water, brought me my ticket. He says, I'm going to let you on first so you can get on and sit in the air and cool down a little bit. So I'm like, okay. So I thought I'd get on the plane, go get some air, got on the first seat in the plane up against the window, got some air on me. And I'm like, I'll be good. So I checked my glucose, checking my ketones, trying to find my minerals, flight attendants getting me some water. And I just feel myself progressively getting worse and worse and worse and sat there for a few minutes. And the flight attendant comes back. She's like, you just need some orange juice and a cracker. And I'm like, no, I'm in ketosis. The last thing I need is orange juice and a cracker. You're going to kill me, kind of thing. And went back at it and sat there for a few more minutes. And then everybody else boarded the plane. And it was one of those moments. She started to do flight check and I could see right up where they're getting ready to shut the door. And she looks at me and she's like, are you okay? And I said, no, I don't think I am. And again, it was jaw pain. It was never oh my gosh, grab my chest. It was all right here. And it was one of those moments that I just stood there or sat there and she's like, I can hold the plane for 10 minutes if you want to come up and get some air and get off the plane and see what you can do. And I went to stand up to get off and my knees buckled and I couldn't stand up and I couldn't get off. And they brought a wheelchair down, got me up the ramp. And I sat there for a minute thinking I would be able to just gather my crap and it would be okay. So of course they called the medics and call everybody. And I keep telling this poor paramedic that I just need some water and I just need my minerals and I will be fine. Just somebody give me my minerals out of my bag. And I sat there, started drinking, I was trying to get it in me. And the poor little guy, they all look like they're 12 years old. So I'm officially old. So none of them look old enough to be trained, much less old enough to be taken care of.
And these are the EMTs that came to her aid as well.
Yeah. So the EMTs, by now the fire departments got there, the ambulances got there, everybody has got there at the airport and I'm mortified. And by now she comes up and closes the gate and says the plane has to go. Well, the first thing that hits my head is my crap's all on the plane. And they don't take your crap off the plane when you when they pull you off, it was time for the plane to go. So my stuff was going home, whether I was with it or not. And all I kept thinking is, I just need on that plane to get home and I'll be fine. So it just went back and forth. And the paramedics and everybody that got there, they just looked at me, and the poor little guy just kept saying, ma'am, water is not going to fix this. Ma'am, your minerals are not going to fix this. Just kept reiterating it. And the whole time, it's just my jaw. It is never my chest. It is never anything. It was just my jaw. And the plane left, needless to say, with all my crap on it. Oh, there we go. With everything on it. And it just, I guess I'm just saying all of this to say I didn't listen to my body. And I thought I was just dehydrated and tired and everything else. By the time they got me through, the paramedic, the fire department, everybody realized, they said, we have to transport you, that you are not getting on that plane. You are not going home today, that you need to go to the hospital. And it was that moment, I think, when I called you.
Yep. She gave me a call. Hun, they took me off the plane. I'm like, what?
So now he's poopy with me because he thinks I missed the plane.
I don't know what happened. I really didn't. She didn't really go into much detail at that point. I don't think she wanted to worry me in the least, but I really don't think she knew what was going on. I don't think she knew it was as serious as it was until later. Until I had to go to the airport and pick up her luggage without her. So we on the way over there, that's when we found out it was as serious as it needed to be. And that's when they admitted her to the hospital. So
we got to the ER, and the blessings in it, when everything just started turning, I was talking to Dr. Boz, I was talking to Angela, I was talking to Michelle, my cousin, the nurse. So all of us that I was on with, trying to calm me and trying to give me some assurance, because I've never been alone, and I know I was just losing it and probably not very kind to people, but it was just those moments of, I was so scared, and the calm in the storm was hearing each of the voices that were familiar to me and keeping me calm. And, they did the enzyme check, and the first one came back in 300 something. And my cousin texted me, she's like, damn, it's supposed to be, in 1 or 2 or something like that. And I was 300. The second set of numbers came back, and he said, now if they go down, he says, maybe are just a little dehydrated, whatever, no big deal. If they go up, then we're looking more heart attack and having issues. And by the next time they came back, they were over almost 700.
Yeah, they were over
692 or something like that. So my enzymes kept going up. So we knew there was damage in there. That's when they came in and said they were biting me.
At that point, Dr. Boz actually gave me a call and said, this is not good. So yeah, that's when the wheels of the plan started coming into motion.
So everything just fell into place. But, we keep talking about where God's hand was in all of it, that if I'd have waited 2 more minutes, I'd have been in the plane. I'd have been on the plane and in the air when it finally hit that I couldn't stand up, couldn't walk, couldn't stay, it was all right there. And it was just not stopping, not changing. And it was all God's timing. It was just those moments of.
And we can even back up even further if you really want to go there. I mean, if she hadn't been on this ketogenic journey as long and as serious as she was, I would have never got her back from the floor of that plane. It would have been done. If she was not in as healthy of a state as she is now, that heart attack would have dropped her right there.
So the cardiologist, they come and met me at
and yeah, let me tell you, let me say that one for a fact, her heart attack had absolutely nothing to do with her ketogenic journey.
Except for saving my life.
Except that's the part that saved her life. Her problem with her heart stems back from her radiation from breast cancer 20 some years ago. And they proved that. The cardiologist has said that and backed that up. That radiation destroyed the artery that he actually rebuilt. So
radiation, chemo just did all that destruction to my heart. So he was so good about it when he came in, and I said, please put on my chart, do not give me glucose, do not give me, anything like that that's going to mess me up. I'm in therapeutic levels of ketosis. I need to stay there. And I said, please make it on my chart. And he said, you doing ketosis? And I said, yeah. I said, so please don't have, if you don't have to, please don't give me any glucose or anything. And he says, what kind of keto do you do? and kind of half smirky with me. And I said, almost 4 years of under 20 carbs, 3 years of under 10 carbs, 2 years of year and a half of under pretty much 5 carbs. I said, we're pretty much carnivore and fat. So, and kind of went by that. And he kind of looks back at me and he says, like, you've done it that long? And I said, absolutely. So kind of went through my health history with him, the left bundle branch block from my chemo and all of that. And he was so impressed. And he totally understood my chemistry. So when he pulled my labs, he was able to see where my damage wasn't done from my labs. It wasn't a chemical process. It was the damage to the scar tissue in my heart. So I guess I'm just saying that is there's so many people that I know and love that is a part of my family and my journey and my church family and my family on here, that there are so many things this process will help, and it heals and it changes. And this is not what caused my heart attack. And I know there's so many people that are out here that are on the fence on keto. And it's like, that is the difference of dirty keto that everybody out there, and the difference of what we do on a therapeutic level. And I just want to encourage you to get on and stay there. Don't waver in and out. The people that I love, that I want to help, I don't mean to be preaching to the world all of this, but it's one of those things. I just want to help those people that I know we can help and help get on board and change everything and change your health and turn it around. And I know we can do that because I've done it. So I know I can help you. I know I can get you healthy. I know I can turn your life around.
You never know when you're going to need it, because we didn't see this coming at all. And just to know that she's been this healthy and trying to get her health back has actually prepared her for what she had to go through. So you never know. You don't. So
yeah. There's just so many people that we know and love that we want to help, that we know we can turn it around. And this isn't just dirty keto. This is changing your chemistry one cell at a time, 1 minute at a time, one meal at a time. And the grace comes at your next meal. You don't have to say, oh my gosh, I have to go do this or I have to go buy that. No, your grace comes and starts at your next meal. So please, 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 if you're off the wagon, jump back on. If you're thinking about it, you have to do this for your health. This isn't something we take lightly. This isn't just a fad thing to lose some weight. I would love to fit in my skinny jeans, but I'm more proud and happy to say I can save my life or possibly save your life, and just do it. It is not worth
it's not worth that piece of pie, is it?
It's not worth it. It's just not. When I sat in that airport and it's like, he wasn't around, my kids aren't around, nobody that I loved was around me, that it was just, there is nothing is worth sitting there and knowing I possibly was saying goodbye to everybody I know and loved, and I wasn't around anybody. And there's nothing that's worth it. When you have to figure out your why, it's simple. Why is because I don't want to say goodbye to my family. I don't want to say goodbye to my loved ones. I want to be there. That's my why. So there is no pizza that's worth it. There is no pie that's worth it. There's no nothing that is worth it. So it's just, I guess, just jump in and do it. Just don't look back. If you need help, reach out. We will gladly help you all.
And this I want to touch on some places too where God's hands was in it so far, because the physical locations of everything was crazy. The hospital was less than 10 minutes from the airport. And the time that when she got there, probably the best cardiothoracic surgeon was on duty in the ER that night, which he normally doesn't do. So he put her in that position to meet him, and he took care of her like nobody's business. I am thoroughly impressed. And the way everything happened, Monday or Tuesday, when I finally got there, I was able to catch a flight in less than 4 hours. I booked a flight, got on a flight. His hands was in that. I don't fly. I think that was the second time in my life that I've ever flown. He was with me on that because I was a nervous wreck. But I got there.
I got there before they took me in for surgery. Before they took me down I'd only ever done the stress test. So it was like everything just fell into place.
We
Because
did-
I said I
we
didn't
did
want to go
test-
into surgery without him.
We did test first,
Yeah.
and then we just happened to decide to do the angioplasty. The doctor said, "Hey, I think it might be a good idea. You're here. Why don't we do an angioplasty, see what's going on, just in case."
I wanted confirmation that it wasn't my keto journey to come back and be able to say that to everybody. I knew I was going to get crap from people that know I do keto and was going to throw that out there. And I wanted confirmation of what was causing this for me. And he said the only way he could give me that was to go in and look. And when he got in there, he let me stay awake through the whole thing. He didn't give me the Versed or anything that usually makes me pretty loopy and I don't remember things. But he didn't give it to me and let me stay awake. And he talked me through everything he was doing and let me see on the screen up there and everything. And every time he would hit the part, it was my right coronary artery.
Right coronary artery, he totally rebuilt.
Every time he would get to that, I would get that jaw pain again. And he would talk me through. He's like, I see you wincing. I see you wincing. And he kept saying, can you hold it? Can you hold it? Can you hold it? And he would wait till I couldn't take it anymore. They'd give me another dose of pain meds because I didn't want to go to sleep. I wanted to stay awake. And he was wonderful about it. And I took it as long as I could. And then when he got in there and had to start doing a repair, he'd give me a dose of pain meds real quick. And then he would repair and keep going. And then we were in there for almost 3 hours. And he just kept talking me through it and being with me. But it was such a blessing. It was just, he's the coolest doctor, to the point I will probably fly to Texas every year for a checkup just to be with him. And so a KetoCon, heart checkup, all that's going to fall into place with Miss Vicky right now. So she's been such a blessing. So
Yeah.
it's just,
And the crazy thing about that part, even though we did the angioplasty, was he said it might not be necessary to do. You might be able to fly home and maybe have your cardiologist at home do it, because there was nothing that stood out on the stress test. She had enough blockage, and it was weird because he told me this after he did the angioplasty and he showed me all the pictures and stuff. He says her blockage was so uniform that on the stress test picture, they couldn't see anything that really stood out. So nothing was jumping out at them as a problem. So we decided to do the angioplasty just as confirmation. Thank God we did, because that's where he found all the blockages and had to put four stents to fix that artery. So he did some really cool work. And the other funny thing is I had to go outside. They took her back to get her prepped. I had to go outside just to get some air because, I mean, it's 104 in Texas. I got to feel what 104 feels like outside. It's like 111 feel like temperature, but I had to get outside. I had to get some sunshine. So I went out there and I was just walking around, and that way, I don't have to have a mask on, and I'm just walking around, just trying to gather my thoughts. And I turned back around, and here's the doctor outside. I see him walking back in, and he says, you coming back in? I'm like, well, yeah. And he says, we're going back in there. He says, I just had to get some fresh air. He says, be about a half hour. I'll have you some answers and we'll go from there. And I said, good. I said, he's all pumped up. I said, I'm all pumped up. We went up together and go back in. I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting again and still waiting. So after that half hour was up, I kind of figured something was up. And actually a gentleman had come in at about the same time as Tammy, and they pulled him out and brought him to the waiting room, and his wife was in there waiting with me for her husband. And we had talked and said a prayer for her. And all of a sudden they came in and said, well, we have to reschedule your husband. And I'm like, oh no. And I was like, what's going on? And he's like, well, we saw something. We got to fix something with your wife, but we're going to take care of him first. And I'm like, what time? They never gave me any more information. They were hauling butt fixing her. But it was nice because he actually got a room finally. The guy that they moved out of there, his name was Charles, and we said a prayer for him, and hopefully everything's okay with him. Me and his wife prayed for him in their situation. But hopefully everything was good with him. But it was kind of weird because then it was like longer time for her, and it just kept getting amplified. And then when the doctor came out, he says, I got it. I fixed it. It's all good. And he showed me and like really brought it home. And it's just amazing
Just blessings. And today we was at church and our pastor was talking about the sermon that he preached on was John 15, 1-9. And it just, everything he said today was just such another confirmation of everything that we do here in our group with our people. And it was talking about staying connected. And I guess I'm trying to apply spiritually and physically in here. So anybody that is struggling, staying connected to your people. It's the same thing we talk about our tribe. Stay with our tribe, get in with like-minded people, be with your people. And we are your people. If you're alone at home, we're your people. Come and see us and come and say hi. Pruning. He talked about pruning the vine and how much of us, how many of the things that are in our lives do we need pruned? How many of the things in our diet do we need pruned? How many things in our refrigerator do we need pruned? Our cabinets, our pantries, our life needs pruned. And if we've learned anything this week, 2 weeks, we need to prune the damage. We need to prune the noise. We need to prune the outside restrictions and the things that are coming in that keep us from moving forward and progressing in our health journey, our spiritual journey, whatever it is. We need to prune. So I guess I'm just asking everybody, take a moment, look in your life. What needs pruned? What can you eliminate the noise to get to those good Dr. Boz ratios, to get to those good levels of health and ketosis and taking care of yourself? Blessings for being obedient. And I honestly can feel like this is one of those blessings that has hit us, and it didn't feel like a blessing in the moment. I will tell you, it scared the bejeebers out of me, but the blessing that has come in it taught me to slow down. I was working 18, 20 hours a day around the clock, trying to help and serve with everybody around the clock that we have in every time zone. And it's taught me I'm no service to anybody if I don't take care of me. And I know I preach it to all of you, and it's trying to look in the mirror and say, I have to set hours. I have to reach out when I can. I have to get sleep. I'm so sleepy right now. I don't know why I'm so tired. It's just whatever it is, I'm trying to listen to my body. So if I don't get right back to you, just know that's what we're doing. But what Pastor Kurt was talking about was being conscious and moving towards him, moving towards your goal, moving towards whatever feeds your soul. Move towards that. And to us, it is God. It is our nutrition. It is our health. It is our family, our tribe. Is we do this together. You guys are our tribe, are our family. And it just resonated with us. So staying connected, pruning, showing up, showing up. All of us have better things to do than to sit on these darn lives. I know that. I'm the first one to say I got better crap. I got a million things behind me that need to be done. I'm not even unpacked yet. And I've been home for a week. My suitcase is still laying on my floor. It truly is. But you know what? It'll be there. It's going to wait. And the dust bunnies are going to wait. And the dog hair is going to wait. And it's okay. I really honestly don't care right now. I wanted to see my kids. I wanted to spend some time with him. We spent some time with friends out on the boat. And I'm sleeping a whole heck of a lot. So I am trying to listen to my body, but show up for our support group, show up for your family, show up for whatever you need to do to make this work in your life. And if we are your tribe, then show up. It doesn't matter if your spouse isn't doing it, your friends aren't doing it, your coworkers aren't doing it. Show up with us. We are family here. I've just learned that up one side and down the other, that blood doesn't make us family.
Nope.
That it's all of you are our family and we love you. So
here it comes again.
Sorry. Choosing not to abide is a wasted life. And that was a big thing that Pastor Kurt said today. And it's like, I don't ever want to feel like I've lived this life and been put on this earth and it's been wasted. I want to do whatever he's called me to do. I want to walk out whatever he's calling us to do. And to us, that is serving you guys right now. There is an out, there is a way, there is a reason, and you guys can do it. You just have to commit to yourself and jump in. And again, it's showing up and pruning and staying connected. It's just the repeat of the same thing that we all can do together. Cancer survivors, you get through it and you come off the other end of it feeling battered and abused. Diabetics, you get through it and you're battered and abused and your bodies are all out of whack. We can do that. We can fix that. We can turn that around. Love yourself enough to jump in. We are so blessed to know Dr. Boz, to have her in our court and to have her teaching us. You don't need a doctor to do ketosis.
Right.
You need discipline. You need to prune. You need to love yourself enough to move forward. And that's all you can do, but you have the control over that. Nobody's going to do it for you. And that's where I am going to be a tougher coach, because none of us like it.
Oh, you guys are in for it now.
None of us like it. We all hate it.
I get it. You're going to get it too.
We're all in it together, and we are going to do it. I just had pizza last night when we went out, and it's like, yeah, we're ready. We are getting back on track too. We're going to get on track with everybody. We're going to do it one step at a time. My chemistry is all over the place with the meds. We're all jumping in together. So anybody that needs to be at the beginning and start with me, let's do it.
It's a refocus time.
Refocus, redirect, pruning, showing up, staying connected, consequences for not abiding. And we know the consequences. And I'm so blessed to know this journey saved my life. It did not cause it. It will not cause it. And done properly, we're all in this together.
Exactly.
Anything else?
I don't know. I just want to say another. We are so blown away by the amount of prayers and the blessings and everything else that you guys, you really could feel it. I'm not joking. We are just blessed by every single one of you, many more that were also out there. We were touched by everybody's kindness, everybody's love, support. It was amazing. I mean, it really was. And in that whirlwind of a time frame, we had so much support. I mean, I feel like I was walking on air. I had so many people lifting us up, and it was amazing. So we just want to say a great, huge thank you from the bottom of our heart for everyone that had our backs and everyone that just thought of us and prayed for us. And I don't know, it's just, I can't ever thank you enough. So know that we are here for you guys, period. That's it.
So
always.
Please know, anybody that is either off the wagon, ready to get back on the wagon, or if you're on the wagon and going strong, then you lead and we will follow and we will pull you along and cheer you on. But if you're ready to jump back in, let us know, reach out, show up for either the support groups. If you need in my next keto coaching class, let me know. We're trying to get things scheduled and going. Whatever you need, reach out and let us know what you need and we will help you. But you have to take the step. You have to show up.
Yep.
You have to do it. Do it for your health. Love yourself enough.
Do it. So anyway, that's enough of us.
That's enough of us. You guys check in.
Back to the support.
Back to you guys. I love you all, but we do.
I'm gonna shout out real quick because I see somebody's sling right here and she knows who I'm talking about. I wanted to know how her surgery turned out. Gail, how was it? Since you've been in ketosis, like rocking.
Hello there. Glad you guys are great. Been praying. It's been a week and a half and I'm probably about half the pain meds. The doctor, I spoke with her the next day and she says, this is very painful. Stay on your meds. But I am just astounded that I haven't had to take what I've thought I was going to have to do. So doing really good though. Doing really good. Get some sutures out tomorrow. I got to be in this thing for 6 weeks. That's it. So then maybe therapy, but yeah, I had a mess in there, but yeah, I think the pain is down because I was in ketosis and I've been trying to get back into some fasting. I've been doing 1 meal a day, but I haven't been able to fast beyond that. So
that's okay. Those pain meds in you, that's rough. So
yeah,
keep some food in your belly for the pain meds and you'll get back at it when you get off the pain meds. You'll be good.
Yep.
Good deal.
This is my bed. I sleep in a chair. So
yeah, I hear you.
We had one of those recliners with, do you have the ice bucket? The ice shoulder bucket thing, the shoulder pad thing.
Yeah.
That was
just glad for this way of life. Like I said, this fall will be 4 years for me as well, cancer survivor. And I know I wouldn't be where I am if I wasn't doing this and to go through surgeries. And like you said, when you had your back surgery, it's a blessing to be in ketosis. Yeah. And I got other good news. I have a new grandbaby on Wednesday. But
amen.
Yeah, a little tough holding on to her, but they were over here this afternoon and just loving on her. So 2 little girls we got. So
oh man.
Good job. That's what it's all about right there.
Yep. Praise God and be healthy for our kids and our grandkids and helping our parents if you still have your parents and that kind of stuff. That's what's important. Like you were just saying, That is everything that's important. Our relationships and families and helping others to get healthy too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, sorry, I got to call you out, but I wanted to see. I was hoping
Good.
everything went okay. So
Went great. Except I lost my arm. They all laughed. Thought for sure somebody took it. They gave me a nerve block and I didn't feel it. And I lay in there and I lost my arm. I lost my arm.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those
Good
are
job.
rough. Those are rough.
Yeah, but when they're good while they're in, and then when they wear off, then it's all over.
Amen. Amen. Well, I'm so glad you're both doing well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
All
All right, Mary Kay, you want to jump in?
Yes, I mirror what she said. I'm so glad you guys, it's so good to see your smiles and your energy coming back. And I'm very grateful that you are well.
Thank you.
I'm struggling at getting through a 72-hour fast. I've done 4 in a row before, and I'm just struggling with it. So I just keep starting over. I've done a 44 and then I did a 32. And then the next one was maybe 16. So I'm just gonna keep putting one foot in front of the other.
There you go.
You'll get there. Mary.
You're just struggling with, is it like mentally, or is it like running out of energy or hunger? Or
I'm super tired right now, but I am a binge eater. And so I reach a point where that builds up and the craving to
Eat.
break it and eat. Now, when I have broken both of the fasts, I've stayed keto. So that's huge for me. Because usually if I break something, I convince myself I can just go off for a while. And I haven't done that in 6 weeks, I think.
Good.
So, yeah, so it's more of an addiction thing that's still there. It's, something I've had for 50, 60 years, and it doesn't just go away overnight.
right? Good mindset.
Yeah, so I just keep getting back on the horse and just
Keep swinging that bat.
picking up more tools that don't involve food. And because I'm convinced, I mean, my numbers are this last 72 and then a 44, my numbers were great. And
I've seen yours and Kevin numbers. You go back and forth pretty hard.
we do. He always beats me though.
I tell you, but he's good motivation. Her and Sandra too. I mean, all three of you guys are just like kabam, kabam, and I'm like so jealous. I haven't even taken my numbers. I don't even want to right now.
We're scared. I don't want to know.
And one upside, I took my uric acid yesterday and it was 4.7.
Nice.
So
Wow, nice.
It was 6.1 in April. So
Nice.
That's a win.
so that's a win. I'm going with that. And so yeah,
Good deal.
Good
one
job.
step at a time.
All right, sounds good.
Mary, wait up for us. Hopefully we'll all be 72 in it again here soon. We're starting today. I don't know how far we're going to make it. We're going to try. It's going to be rough, I'm sure.
This is gonna be a white knuckle.
I'll white knuckle it with you. I started about 6:30. So
Okay.
We were at 3:00.
Yeah. So
all
we're,
right.
we're going to try. I don't know how I'm going to do with all these meds in me that make me feel like I'm starving to death all the time and jittery, but we're going to try it. So
We'll white knuckle through it.
we'll
There you
white knuckle
go.
through it.
All
Anybody
right.
can do it, right? We got it. Good job, Mary.
Thank
you.
Okay, who wants to go next? Who wants to jump in?
Who wants to jump in? We're gonna take a volunteer this time.
Come on, somebody jump in. I'll pick on you. Come on.
I'll go in. I'll
All
come in.
right, Joan.
Come on, Joan.
Hey.
Miss Minnie
well,
Cooper herself.
Oh my God, I had a 2-week trip that was just the most outstanding.
Yes, you look like you were having a ball.
I was, and I'll tell you what, I was decent, but I wasn't perfect. But I got
Okay.
back, and within a day and a half, I was back in ketosis.
Nice.
My son came down. I came through. We're just real short. 600 cars started in Vermont and went down to South Carolina. Over 1,000 cars participated in the whole process. It's like, consider it a Harley Davidson rally without the beards and leathers.
Like like a Sturgis.
And Mini Cooper USA, who's owned by BMW, puts it on. It's every 2 years except for COVID. So it's a really good advertisement and all that. So it's a lot of friends. And this is my third one. So I came back through Savannah, picked up my son, and with 2 cars. He came down for the week. I did have a procedure, and just to kind of let that one out, I've been fighting with tests over the last 6 months, and we still don't have a diagnosis. We do have some fears, and the fear, of course, is that the cancer is back. The liver biopsy was Wednesday, and I should know something next week. But there were 3 spots that showed up on the PET scan. The first one was a miracle. They thought it was esophageal cancer. He came out of the procedure and said, this was 2 weeks ago before the trip, Barrett's. Well, we were all thrilled. That's a precancer. The path came out even less than Barrett's, even better than Barrett's.
Nice.
So
Nice.
we're waiting for miracle number 2. The positive vibes out there we need for, well, it's in the lab now. Who knows what's going to come up? And then go from there.
Until you get it, there's always, until you get that word, there's always a chance. We would be praying for you.
Thank you. I will be at Dr. Boss's group on Tuesday. Well, for anybody who is post-cancer, because some people use the word survivor, and I'm in the medical field, so I won't use that until 5 years, and I didn't make 5 years. I found something, I will make it, called Care Oncology. It is an adjunct, meaning with and alongside regular standard of care, that I am experimenting. I will be meeting with them this week.
Nice.
It's exactly what I've been trying to find, is one place that will do the home IR and all the testing, and they work with off-label old medicines that are out there. They're generic, and they're all oncologists. It started in England in 2013, and it came over here, and I'll let you know more as we go. But for anybody else who is either post-cancer or worried about it, they're using a 4-drug scenario, which is metformin and 3 others, to help the body deal with the cancer that was in the stem cells that chemo doesn't get. Anyway, that's a lot. Yeah, that's
Nice.
all I have right now, but I'll get back to you on that one. And so yeah, that's right now we're looking at the next X number of years and how we're going to work through those. So my 72-hour fast ends Tuesday, having no problem with it. I did actually 3 fasts before the mini trip, including a 72-hour fast. I had not been able to get beyond 48 hours for a while, but the tests kind of force you into like reality, don't they?
Yep,
Yes, they do.
When we get smacked in the forehead with something that we need to be doing, Joan, I think it's just a great testimony too on the fasting. Fasting isn't for everybody. I'm the first to admit that fasting is not for everybody. If you have a healthy metabolism, you are not trying to heal and regenerate and build new cells that are healthier than the ones we were dealt. Fasting may not be for you, but those of us that have been dealt a crappy hand, that have just been standard of care. I'm trying to say this really
Guinea
nice.
pigs.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, guinea pigs. Well, I was never only standard of care, but I did everything, including THC oil and acupuncture and fast. I did fasting 3 years ago before anyone at Sloan Kettering had ever known what a ketone was. My oncology nurses at where I was in Chicago were angry at me for fasting. You have to eat this cake. No, you have to have this ginger ale. Give it to my person who's sitting with me. I did cold hands, cold feet, the cold cat as well, but that was official.
Yep.
there's so much out there. And this group that I just mentioned before, Care Oncology, believes in the low glycemic way of eating.
Nice.
So they're saying keto without saying keto. And they are looking at, diet as well as medicines. So that's just a, what do they call them? Community service notice.
There you go. Hey,
There you go. We'll take it.
that's, you know what?
It
All of
works
us
with a lot
cancer
of-
survivors love every bit of information we can put out there. So
Right. And it's
up to us.
it's exactly, there's no way. The oncologist on Wednesday, my son was with me. We did the liver biopsy, and then we had the other appointment. I'd already scheduled it because we thought we'd have, they tried 3 different times to do the biopsy through ultrasound. They could not find a 3-centimeter lesion.
Hey,
They had to do it through CT. Anyway, so we met with him, and I looked at him and I said, what do you think about metabolic, cancer is a metabolic disease and going that route? And he looked at me and he said, I only have standard protocols to offer you. And I said, I understand that, but that's not where I'm coming from. He goes, I understand that. And I looked at him and I said, how do you do this every day when you know it's not going to work?
Yep.
And he said, I do what I can to help where I can. And I said, when do you think they'll figure out that cancer is a metabolic disease? And he said, and he meant himself, he said, not in my career.
Wow.
Whoa.
I'm out. I'm sorry. I'm out.
it's,
Well,
I
how do
just
you do
think
that
all of us,
every day?
but I
How do you
think all
do
of us that
that?
are cancer survivors and things like that, that it's like, don't you learn? And I'm not advocating, God knows chemo saved my life. So I am not saying anti-medication, anti-doctor, anti-whatever. I'm not saying that. So please don't hear that. But I do think there's a time and a place that we all have to become our own doctors. Our best doctor is within us.
Push that bar, raise that bar. Try to
Educate yourself.
be out on the forefront of it instead of doing, hey, this worked 30 years ago.
Right. Well, they haven't changed everything in 40 years, but I agree with you. And I've always believed in adjunct care. Where you do the standard of care and try to make it better, or you pick and choose. It's not all bad. You still sometimes hit it with a bat and then use a comb, but getting off of that, back the keto piece, it's going to be that. And actually I've been looking at longer term fasts than 72 hours.
Yeah.
And I'll need some medical advice for that.
Yeah.
But I will see you, young lady, in Orlando if you're here. And my offer of my text, we'll talk about it. Hey, I have a hotel room. It has 2
God
beds.
willing,
You know
God
what?
willing, and
There.
if anybody wants to go, God willing, I'm going to go to Florida. I was going to go work it and have a booth. And I've agreed if I do go, I probably will not put out my booth. I will probably will not.
There's no probably. She will not.
I'll tell you what. She comes.
You see it?
I will watch her like a hawk.
Good. I have my angels.
So
Yeah.
I want to go. I still want to go and learn. I still want to go and share and meet people and just go be. But I'm probably not going to work it. So
Well,
No.
again, offer stands. Anyway, back
Thank
to
you.
the world and the group, and I'm so glad.
Prayers for you, Joan.
yes,
I was sitting at a restaurant when I texted your husband going,
What?
what? What
Yep.
happened?
So, absolutely. So thank you again. Thank you. And we will be praying for you. And you got this. You can do this. All right. Who wants to go next? Who wants to jump in?
Anybody else?
Come on.
Somebody's got to have something for us tonight.
Somebody's got to have something exciting. I can't be the only. Sharon, jump in. I see you popping in. Come on. Come say hi.
I see what.
Hi. Okay. Yeah, well, we're so thankful for the way God took care of the situation, Tammy, and very thankful for answered prayer and just the example you set in sharing everything about that. I want to say I've done my first 2 72-hour fasts. Well, I made the first one was 72 hours. and that was easy. The second one, I made 70 hours. I'm a caterer. So I was making something and I had to taste it because
Please
we
say
had
it's a
catering
keto
that night.
caterer.
Yeah, I know. So I got myself into a bind and I was like, darn, I should have planned better. So because I'm like, once I taste it, I might as well eat. But so, and I've noticed since those that my numbers are definitely better. And you had told me to close my eating window, which I'm working on. And things were improving before that with the eating window. So all that. So I just wanted to say thanks. And that's where I'm at. I decided not to do the 72-hour fast today. I was doing it Sunday to Wednesday just because we had so much family in, and I'm feeling chaotic. We're opening a new business, you know how it gets. And so I decided just to stick with under 20 carbs, and that would be enough.
Yep.
So.
And you know what? Perfect lesson right there. Look at your calendar, put fasting in when it fits in your schedule. If you're in a stressful time of life, do not fast because it's going to stink and suck and make it 10 times harder. So look at your schedule, plan it out accordingly. Good for you, Sharon, for again, listening to your body, your schedule, your life, and go with it. And good for you. Good job. Nice work. Who wants to go next? Dee Dee, you want to go next?
Well, sure. So I'm very grateful that the hand of the Lord was all over both of you that, within the last week. And as soon as I knew that they took you off the plane, I was just thanking the Lord because you could have been midair.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, but
As mad as I was.
Well, and then to hear the fabulous word about the surgeon, the thoracic surgeon who was there. My goodness. So
that don't happen.
Yes. So it doesn't happen, but it does when you serve the Lord.
Absolutely.
And here's another cool thing I forgot to even tell you guys this. My cardiologist has agreed to come on a live with us and explain it all.
The one from Texas.
So he's going to come on a day. We're going to get that scheduled, but he's going to come on.
And I'm going to throw his name out there because I'm impressed with him. His name is Dr. Nathan Boyer.
So if you're in the Austin area,
in Austin, Texas, and he is phenomenal. Just an all around awesome dude.
Great man. So go ahead, Dee Dee.
Go ahead. Sorry, Dee Dee.
Well, I am excited about that, and I will definitely join in. You are looking fabulous. I think you look better now than you did before you left.
It's the extra blood flow.
He said you're probably going to start feeling a little better sooner or later. He says, now that your whole heart's getting blood flow, you might feel a little better than you did. And I'm like, you might be on something. So,
yes.
Oh my.
I thought
we can laugh about it. We can laugh about it now.
Yeah.
So
anyhow, I'm doing okay. I'm still kind of hit and missing. When I went into the hospital back in November, I was doing so well. I was in therapeutic ketosis for weeks on end. And I just have been struggling since then. But I'm so grateful because I'm doing some makeup work for one of the part of the semester that I missed back there in November. And some of the questions that it's asking, I'm in Bible college. And so some of the questions that they're asking is really defining a lot of what I'm going through right now. So I praise God for that. And I'm moving forward. And this is the good thing, is that I am moving forward in ketosis. And I just am so grateful for that. I've been able to keep my carb count down almost below 8, or at the 8 level, but below 10 most often. And that's good. But I'll tell you, I'm kind of getting tired of eating that pork fat. So there's got to be another. Yeah, there's got to be another way to get that great level of fat to keep that deep ketosis running.
Avocado oil.
Avocado and egg yolk. the oil. and
Avocado oil. I can drink it. I mean, she can't, but I can.
but egg yolks, those
Egg
are another good
yolks.
thing too. Rotate through them when you start getting sick of them. You got remember, this is a fat-based diet, so anything you can do to keep those fats up. And if you're getting sick of one, don't go till you're ready to puke it up.
Right.
Change it up if you have to.
Sardines.
I couldn't do it today. I was feeding them to my dog. I couldn't do it today. Like I don't know. I'm queasy today. I'm yucky, but we're in it together.
Thor's going to be healthy with us.
Thor's getting his dose of sardines today.
I'll bet his coat is looking beautiful.
It is actually, but I see it because it's all over my floor that has been a mess for 2 weeks. So, but yes, so it's just those moments of you'll get there, but make sure you're switching through the fats. Don't wait till you're so sick of them you can't get them in yet.
And it's hard to do because you get to that point. It's like, this is all I eat. This is crazy. But
all those fat-based hormones have got to get
They're loving
stable
it.
first before you push through forward. So good job, Dee Dee.
Yep,
You
hang
can
in
do
there.
it. Hang in there. You got this.
Well, thank you. And I just want to say it's a fat-based way of eating. That means you eat fat.
you eat fat.
Yep.
Fat is where it's at.
Right.
Yep.
So, all right.
Fat,
Thank you
even
guys.
when we say we're carnivore, we're carnivore, but that means fat.
We add fat
with a
to it.
side of meat, with a side of meat on the side. We eat the fat, add a side of meat. So you'll get there. Just keep going. You got this.
Okay. Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
All right. Liz, you want to go next? Come on, girl. Come and tell us.
Look at her outside.
Look at her outside. Her and Kevin were rocking it. So go, girl. Tell us how you've been.
Rocking it. Well, for those who don't know, which is you guys, so I've been hanging out with Tam quite a bit here lately. We live in neighboring communities, which is so awesome, so convenient to have my coach like right next door. So I went to the Austin Keto Conference, again, for those of you who don't know, and I learned a lot. I also became a little bit confused because there's a lot of different philosophies that are being talked about at these kinds of affairs. So luckily though, Tammy and I were kind of shooting the breeze a little bit and talking about at what point I could be adding in vegetables, maybe a sweet potato here and there. And I'm just too young in my program, so to speak, to be able to do that kind of stuff. So I feel like literally over this weekend, I really do feel like, I felt really good, but I also, because I only had one meal, both, Friday and Saturday, I had one meal. And I felt super good this morning. So, there's a balance that I have to find. So I'm in this for a couple of reasons. One is I'm a recovering alcoholic. So done, 20, 25 years worth of damage to my brain, which that's my primary reason for pursuing ketosis. I think that, the second pursuit is health and wellness and more of a vanity type of thing, which obviously is secondary to healing my brain. But, the being vain, you can lose weight and you can maintain a healthy, I think, body in multiple ways. And there's a lot of science to support that. But I am in ketosis now, and because I need to heal my brain. And honestly, I only know of one way to do that, and that is through following a ketogenic diet. And then hearing the others talking, Mary, I really relate to the binge eating thing. I have a similar situation myself. Joan, hearing you talk about your cancer diagnosis, and first of all, the attitudes that I'm seeing in this group, just, it really takes me outside of myself, which is so important when you're trying to achieve a higher level of just consciousness in this world. I think the first thing we need to do is get outside of ourselves and immerse ourselves in other people's stories and other people's journeys. And so I can't thank you, Tammy, enough. Your energy and your will to first of all be human, but then in addition to overcome, is just so inspiring to me. All of you, Joan, you as well, and Mary, you too, talking about, admitting, your shortcomings, yet being able to, pull it together and do the best that you possibly can every day, right? So it's one day at a time. I just am so eternally grateful for the opportunities that I've received just in the short time that I've been in this group, the continued support, just being among like minds and witnessing, the multiple stories of, the adversity, but overcoming that adversity. So, that's really all I have to say. So that's I say thank you.
That's why we have our tribe.
We love you, Liz, and we are blessed to have you in our community too. So it's been a blessing for the people that are locals that I've been able to reach out and spend time with. And biggest thing I think me and Liz talking over the weekend is some of us have to put blinders on. And I hate to say that, but that's all I keep saying is those little blinder things of horse wears that, put the blinders on and look forward. Nutritional ketosis, therapeutic levels of ketosis is not for everybody. It isn't. There are people out there that can do great on 50 to 175 carbs a day, whatever. If that works for you, more power to you, girl. Go for it. But those of us that are in it to heal our brain, heal our body, heal our hearts, heal everything, we have to get to those lower levels and get there and stay there till we reach that healing level. What are your goals? If your goals are to heal your body, you're not going to do that in an inflamed state. So it doesn't matter what that inflammation comes from, whether it comes from too many carbs, whether it comes from alcohol, whether it comes from binge eating on the weekends, whatever that inflammation comes from, you have to stop it. And again, it comes down to pruning. Prune your life, prune your diet, prune the things around you that do not serve you in the Lord. Prune it. Get it? I mean, it's that simple. And I don't mean to make it oversimplified, but it truly is. If this does not serve me and my house and my body and my Lord, it needs to go. I mean, it truly needs to go. And look at it that way. It's that simple. Make it simple. You can make all the excuses in the world. You either want it or you don't. And I want it. I want to live. I want to be here. I don't want to say goodbye to my family. And I sure as hell don't want to die on a tarmac out there waiting for a plane to take off alone. I mean, I'm on a mission. I don't know if I want to be alone again, but stay focused. There are a million ways to do keto. Yes. There are other ways to do it that people reach success on it. And that's okay. It's not a right or wrong.
We are just the deep end of the pool.
I can't tread water in that easy level of up there. I've got to dive in. I don't do anything half-ass. I dive in with both feet because I do want to live. And when you talk about that drive and that I want to overcome because I want to be here, I have been scared to death of dying. And I don't like that feeling at all. So until the good Lord's ready to take me, I am going to fight it every step of the damn way that I can control. So I want to take you guys with me and we're going to do it together. So we love you, Liz. Thanks for jumping in.
Thank you.
Who wants to go next?
Any other
Sharon,
questions?
You want to jump in? Did we get Sharon yet?
Nope. I haven't got Sharon yet. We got Sharon M. Haven't got Sharon Sadler.
There we go. Okay, I'm unmuted. And no, I don't have a whole lot to say except for I'm so tickled to see you guys. And Lance, I thought we were going to lose Lance before we lost Tammy. He looked rough.
Dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I didn't have a shave. I didn't have any sleep.
It was after one of them, and everybody's like, "Try to get some rest, Lance. Try to get some rest."
Yeah, it wasn't going to happen. I put that video out, and then I kind of got back and watched it. It was like, wow, dude. Sorry. It was raw.
You feel super strong. You sound super strong. So I'm super happy about that. And I felt guilty because I was one of the ones going, you can fly by yourself. It'll be fine. It'll be fun. And then I was like, oh my gosh, she had a horrible experience.
Oh crap.
I'm trying to bribe Liz into getting on the flight with me to go to Florida because it's one side of me I really want to go to Florida and the other side of me I don't know that I ever want to leave my family again. It's that moment of I might be a little codependent right now. I don't know.
Well, and Liz, can you come run her booth in Orlando?
He has to work. He's been off so much for his
I'm just
back
kidding.
that we
I'm
hate to
just
ask,
kidding.
you know,
I
for more
know.
time off or anything. So it's just
Girl,
With-
I will pick you up in Orlando, so you won't be alone in the airport.
There you go.
I know.
So anyway,
We've got so many things and it's just being so such blessings, and we're just so cool to have this tribe. So thanks for all of you that did reach out to my hubby and helped hold him up, because I know he's my rock and he's trying to hold me up, and I'm sure he was trying to not sound scared to me while we were both scared to death. It was just that moment. Thank you for all of you. that
good
helped me.
question, just so it'll be out of my head. So after you had all this chemo, right, that you're saying damaged your heart,
Radiation.
I'm sorry, radiation. So
chemo.
were you having that looked at periodically or not at all?
Chemo, about 5 years ago, they were going to put a pacemaker in. So they knew I had a really aggressive cancer and it only had a 5-year survival rate. So my oncologist hit me with everything he could throw at me. And now I'm feeling the results of that.
That led to her finding out that she had what they call a left bundle branch block,
So it's a shortage.
which is
in the-
actually an electrical short in
the electrical system of my heart.
in the
It's
electrical
not
system,
blockage.
not blockage as in plaque or anything else like that, not a blockage in blood.
Okay.
That was a block of an electrical signal telling the heart to pump at a certain aggressive
So my ejection
state.
fraction went really low. I was like down to 19 for my ejection fraction. So everything went really low. So they've been watching my heart. So for the last almost 4 years, though, between where I needed the pacemaker, they had me on medications. I worked through all of that. I took the medications like he asked me. I asked him if I could not have the pacemaker for 6 months. And he said, you don't have 6 months, but I'll give you 3 months. So I was on a 3-month rotation of getting my heart checked when he put me on all the medications and went through that. But then what I have done slowly through the last 4 years, I've worked off all of those medications and was doing fine. And he said, as long as I wasn't symptomatic, I was good to go. I wasn't being symptomatic. I didn't realize I was being symptomatic. And I think the weekend just kind of cultivated everything. It was so hot down there. I know I was dehydrated. I know my minerals were low. All of those things, it created the perfect storm in Texas. It really did. So it's just that moment of you realize, oh shit. It was that moment of
Hit her limit.
yeah, I hit the wall. I had probably pushed a little too hard. And when it was just everything was coming into play. I started feeling it, when I got the jaw pain, my heart started to fluttering, but it does that when I get dehydrated. So that's why I kept thinking, give me my water, give me my minerals.
Just like we were thinking with my dad, just get your minerals in you, get your salt in you. Like we said before, stay hydrated. And nope, it was.
I was the best cheerleader for keto, child, there ever was. The whole fire department, the EMTs, everybody, because I'm saying, just get in my bag, give me my damn keto chow, my minerals, and I'll be fine. Give me some water, I'm good. So I'm arguing with all these poor guys that just keep saying, ma'am,
It's not going to fix it.
it's not going to fix it. I'm like, you ma'am me one more time.
They're so polite in Texas. They really are.
They were so
Everybody
kind.
was so nice.
They were so kind, but
Oh,
it
good.
was
Well,
just
great to see you both back. Yeah, I'm trying for my 72 one more time. It's just been a horror show. I get to 60, 62, 65, and I'm just starving. I don't know.
okay. Then if you're starving, Sharon, if it's a mental game or physically starving, then we might need to back up a little bit, work on those fat hormones. If you're that hungry, if we don't have your chemistry right, your chemistry will carry you.
48. It's after 48 that I
when it's
start
really-
going south.
That's when it's really kicking in. And it takes a lot of mental work at that point, because you know where you're at and you know what you're trying to do. And
I look at it, if you make it to 48, to me, if your chemistry is correct, you've made it to 48, you made it through the hard part. Ride out that last 24 hours. If your chemistry is correct, that last 24 hours is when the rock star status hits.
if you can get to like you said, 60, 65, right in that area,
Your ketones should be jumping.
grab some salt and some water,
Mhm.
chug that a little bit. So there's something something on your stomach, get some minerals in you, and find something to do, because you only have 5 or 6 hours left.
Right.
You're right there.
Another thing
and it could be a lot of mental.
Another thing that really helps me when I hit that part of I'm not sure if it's mental or it's not sure if I'm truly hungry is I take the hot water and put the salt
That
in
big
it.
giant rock.
And I will even put a drip of oregano oil on the edge of my cup or
Mhm.
in my water. It's just a drop of oil. And it makes me feel like I put the salt in there, the pepper on the rim, whatever spice makes you feel like, oh, this is good. And it almost makes me feel like mentally I'm getting some warm soup broth.
Oh, yeah.
And I sip, it's just hot water with salt in it. Literally
Right.
just hot water with salt. But I take my essential oils. I use doTERRA. So if anybody needs them, you want good ingestible oils, but I put it on the edge of my cup. And when that steam from the hot water is coming up and I drink the salt, have the pepper, have the oregano, whatever, and sip on that salty hot water, it really is a game changer for my head. And then it makes me feel like I got a full bowl of soup in my belly. I don't know. Try it, see if it gets you through. Just little tricks.
That'll also let you know if it's mental over physical.
Yeah. Are you mentally hungry? Do you want to eat or do you need to eat?
Yeah. This
But
is
that
true.
close, but once you get that close, you should be making ketones and feeling good and getting there. So you'll get there.
All right.
And if not, you call me, I'll push you over the edge. Come on.
All right.
We'll get
Push
you
me
there.
over the edge.
We'll get there.
Thank you.
We're in this jump together, right?
All right. Thanks, guys.
All
Thank
right.
you, Sharon.
All right. Hey, Sandy, do you want to jump in next? Here we go. Let's unmute you.
Not really.
Okay.
Okay, that's okay. You don't have to.
Okay, the last 4 days, my numbers have been really good. A few days prior to that, they weren't, and I was eating okay, except I didn't have high enough levels of fat.
Yep.
And I find that sometimes that's a challenge for me to keep the fat up. I've been drinking or taking tablespoons of olive oil, and it's definitely time to switch to something else.
Switching the way.
Avocado oil.
Right. Yes.
Smoother.
Right. I haven't done the 72s for a little while. I'm not sure if I'm ready to go back to that. I'm having some.
You look it.
Go ahead.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
Your color's good.
I'm having some mental challenges. There's no doubt in my mind that this is the way to go. No doubt. I had a doctor's appointment a couple days ago with a new doctor, and I found myself on my guard when he started saying some of the things he did, because I knew that if he knew what I was doing, I don't even know if he'd see me again. No, I'm serious.
I believe you.
Yeah. And I need to go back to him in 2 weeks. And he's a good doctor and I trust him for what he was looking for. But he got really into cutting out salt and a couple of other things. And it's like, oh, fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was trying to work on my mind and be clear that he's a good doctor and he can help look at some things, and that he's in the mindset on the fats and stuff, just let it go.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's kind of where I'm at. But
That's
nobody
that's
else, right? Nobody else has said this, I don't think, and so I feel kind of not guilty, but greedy maybe to even bring it up. But Tammy, when you are healthy and rested, I could use a consultation.
Okay, we will do
It
that.
is not something that is urgent or needs to be done right away. And I would not be comfortable going into a consultation till you are really stable and healthy enough to do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm trying to get there. That's why, if you've noticed, I've not been on the page as much or anything, because I am literally every time I go do something. If we went to church this morning and it was just so emotional, I came home and crashed for 2 hours. It was just that wipeout feeling of, I'm trying to listen to my body. So if I am a little MIA right now, it's because I literally am trying to function a little bit.
Just trying to take it slow finally.
I am. It really scared me. So I'm not trying to push too hard, do anything, because I don't ever want to feel that again. I do not want to go through that again. So I am trying to listen to my body.
Right. And nobody knows what that timeline is, you know, and if it's 3 months down the road, well, okay.
We'll get,
Okay.
I'm hoping it ain't that long.
Yeah. I don't know if I could keep her down that long.
I'm hoping to get cardiac rehab scheduled really quick and it gets to working because I'm ready. So we'll get there. But Sandy, we will get you.
Thank you for your
Thank you, and
patience.
we love you. So
Well, you're already working, just being here on this, you know, where we can see you.
but
Thank
I
you.
need my tribe as much as
I
you
was
guys
just gonna
do.
say she needs it as much as you need to see her. She needs to see you guys.
I
So
mean, when I say I feel like God has given me a purpose,
this is it.
you guys are my purpose to help me help somebody else fix their body from what cancer does to it, from what diabetes does to it, from what heart disease does to it. There is an answer out there. And I think the more people we can get that to, the better it is. It just is.
You gotta cool it. You're gonna make me cry now.
You mention all those things, you know, but mine is 50 years, well, a lot more than that, 60 years, maybe 75. I'm 75 years of binge eating, high carbohydrates, and a lot of pop.
And
Yeah.
and I guess that's where some of us can say cancer, some of us can say diabetes, some of us can say heart disease. But
Rest
when
of
you
us can
look
say
at
carbs.
the rest of the world can say the standard American diet. So it applies to everybody. So there's nobody out there we can't help.
Exactly.
So it's just, how do you want to do it? Do you want to jump in with both feet, or what do you want to do? You know, that we can get. Sorry.
We'll move on you. There
There
we
we
go.
go. Sorry. You know, but it's, you know, those are all things we all can deal with. We all deal with. So it doesn't matter if it's our kids, you know, we're putting the website together and we're trying to work on the Keto Kids program. And it's like, there isn't a kid out there that's not over on carbs and sugar. And, you know, you try to send them to school, they can't get a healthy meal at school. They can't get,
Crazy.
it's awful. You know, they can't get anything like that is decent. We're trying to teach our grandkids how to make good choices. What do you do when there's no good choices to be had? So, you know, it's the problem. It's a problem the whole way around that I get a little too compassionate about, or what's Dr. Living compassionate?
Compassionate. Yeah.
It's a cross between compassionate and pissed. That it's crazy that our kids don't get that choices, you know, that we, you know, like Sandy, like you're saying, at 75 years old, we've all been fed cereal and Wonder Bread and Pop-Tarts and
Top it off a little Domino's.
Exactly.
Domino's sugar on top.
Yeah. So it just is it's all relevant to everybody. So it's one of those things, doesn't matter who we are, what world we live in. We all have the damage, and we all can apply this to somebody,
It just takes me back. I'm sorry. My great grandmother used to have those little tiny Domino's sugar cubes out in a little silver thing for your coffee. And I used to go over there and I used to take the top off and I used to snack on those things just like candy. It was so bad.
That's awful.
Oh my.
Think of the things we used to eat. And now, you know, we tried to eat a piece of pizza this weekend and it was just that, then I thought I wanted strawberry.
Yeah, listen to this.
I thought I wanted strawberry shortcake before I got back on the wagon. So I made homemade strawberry shortcake, had homemade strawberries in the freezer from like 3 years ago. We have a local farm that grows strawberries that is just amazing. So I didn't want to get rid of them. I had them in there, thawed them babies out, made homemade shortcake, and we both took 2 bites and it was like,
We threw the rest.
I can't do
we
it.
threw the rest of the bowl away. We took 2 bites and we said, "Uh-uh."
I can't do it. It was like what you remember. Those things were so wonderful. You know, every summer having sweet corn or having
Oh.
strawberry shortcake. That was just part of Ohio. That's part of growing up in a farm community.
Sick to your stomach.
It was awful. It was god awful. So you'll find those things, but as you move forward in your journey, it gets better and better. So
Yep.
You'll get there. All right.
Anybody?
Shimmy, you want to Shimmy? How do you say your name? First of all, I'm sure I'm butchering it. Can
Shimmy?
you, Shimmy? I'm sure I'm butchering it.
Yeah.
So fix it.
Hi.
What is hello?
So Shimmy is my nickname.
Shimmy.
My full name is Shamika, but most
Shamika.
people butcher Shamika, so I just put Shimmy.
Okay.
That's pretty.
Um,
Okay. At least I'm not butchering it totally.
Well, I'm happy to see you both and glad everything worked out. The last time this is my first time on a live Zoom meeting
cool.
for
Welcome.
this. But I was on Brains, the Brains course, and you told me to start over.
Well, you picked a good one to start with, huh?
Yeah, Tammy told me to start over, but I wasn't eating enough fat, so I'm just starting to eat more fat and trying to maintain an 8-hour window. So that's really where I am. I haven't started fasting, but I do have ketones now, so
Good job. Good job. And
Good.
getting those fats up high that's where so many of us veterans and people that have done other kinds of keto, sometimes that's the answer is we've just got to stop, put the brakes on for a minute, slow down. And sometimes we've got to back up a little bit and add those healthy fats and get those fat-based hormones, and then it'll carry you. Then we can move
I
forward.
think it finally dawned on me when I ran out of fats. When I got so lean to where I ran out of fats and I was out of energy. I was still making ketones, but I was out of energy. That I realized this is a fat-based diet. Duh, you need more fat. So that gives you the energy. You know what I mean?
yeah, I was just scared that, I was eating too much fat. So I backed off because I've got plenty of fat that you can't see that I'm sitting on that I need to remove still. So while I didn't start off with Dr. Boz's plan, I just, for my health, I started removing processed food and gluten, and I'm not 100%, but for the most part, I don't eat grains, dairy, gluten, etc. So I'm maintaining. I'm 4 years in on a 40-pound weight loss, but I'm not to where I need to be in my health. And I found Dr. Boz a couple of years ago. So
and that's
I'm at the point. Yeah, I need to reread some things, and I need to read some things that aren't on Audible. I'm an Audible fan, and she's got material that's not on Audible that I have, that I own, that I've decided I probably ought to read. So
Yeah.
I bought a friend a copy of the workbook, and we're gonna kind of go through it together. So that's where I am.
Good deal.
Good. Show up and we got a tribe. So just know we're all here if you need us, but it is a fat-based hormone. So we all got to back up and do it right and get those fat-based hormones happy first. Then we'll move forward and get your health into that last home stretch, especially those of you that have done keto before another way. Now you're just down to get that last home stretch and reach those goals. Now reach the health goals. Now reach the mental health goals, the brain health. All of that kicks into play when you get into those deeper levels of therapeutic ketosis. So,
And come to support group because we have a ball.
you never know when I'm going to cry or anything. So it is what it is. But thank you so much. And we love all the love and prayers. So thank you, Shimi.
Thank you.
All
Who
right.
else? Diane.
Diane, can you jump in? Come and say hi.
We're gonna call some people that aren't showing their faces too.
I know we're coming to Miriam. You better get ready, Miriam and Kate over here. Nice to see you. Hi.
Hi. I'm so glad you're doing okay. And yes, Vance, you looked very scared.
I was right. I was. Yeah, there was a bunch
Very
of emotion.
scared. Yeah.
There's a bunch of emotion going on right there.
So I hope I sent good energy to you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got good news. My peripheral neuropathy is getting better. I have
Good.
Yeah, they did some
That's a
nerve
win.
conduction tests. I have some splotches now on the sides of my legs and the bottom of my feet that are doing okay. Like I said, my goal is hairy toes. That'll mean
Yeah.
that, you know, all of the nerves
Nice.
are grown in. So I have that good news. I'm doing good on the fat. You guys said to increase the fat. Haven't gained any weight, haven't lost any weight. My ketones are always good. What's great about the fat is I've added lap swimming. I'm a swimmer from way back and did not get tired. My muscles gave out before I got tired. And so that's really good. So I know this is, and it's been, well, since the pandemic that I have been in the pool. So, yeah. And it was smooth. It was wonderful. My muscles just gave out. So that says to me that also that study that I'm in for the post-COVID with the increased protein, I think is working as well. So I just want to let you know things are going okay. I didn't have as much stomach and gut upset as I thought I would from all the fat.
Good.
What I cannot handle is magnesium at all. I tried a quarter dose of magnesium and that was just horrible. I've tried, the only one I haven't tried is L-threonate, but I've tried glycinate, I've tried malate, I've tried all the different ones. So I think what I'm going to have to do is find a magnesium soak, and I'll just have to go and float in some magnesium. So I'm pretty certain there's a couple near me. So that's my next goal, is to take care of that. So everything else, I totally agree with Mary Kay and Sandy. My eating disorder, I remember, I have a memory. One of my first memories is ice cream worked. And I'm not in school yet. And also when I look back at pictures and also other kinds of things, I've been insulin resistant my whole life. So when Dr. Boz the other day, she was talking about patience, it was like, I think it was one of her live from like 3 weeks ago. One of the things that I heard was sometimes you just keep going. You just are patient. It takes a long time to heal things that have been around a long time. Probably, I've had issues as long as Sandy was saying, so I'm just patient. And so I'm happy to be here. And I'm so glad that you're doing better and that you're back as well. So thanks.
Thank you so much. And that's a win, Diane. And Dr. Boz always talks about the floats. It's one of those things. I put it off for years too. And the 2 times I went and done it, it is definitely one of those things that's getting put in my schedule now. And I think for the brain health, the sleep, I've got to get my sleep under control. That magnesium, the nights that I did it, I slept like a baby. So it has to be something deficient in my system too. So set those floats up. And again, there's going to be a whole part on our website of learning to love yourself. So we're going to put all those things in, the sauna, the Epsom salt float, all of it. So just do whatever you can fit in your schedule and your budget. Just do it, but find a way to love on yourself. So good job. Nice work. Who's that? Kim and Tim, I know you guys are driving. Do you guys want to jump in?
Yeah, we're on the road, but we've been in the meeting. We're so glad that God is taking care of you, Tammy, and wish you the best of luck. Kim and I are both working our fast back and forth together between us. I'm within 5 pounds of my goal. I've got a little issues with the arthritis in my fingers, but we're going to play this thing out to see where it goes with the fasting and everything, and just keep working on it. Like tonight, now I'm pretty good with the arthritis here in my hands and stuff as it gets late night. But then in the morning when I wake up, I can't even bring my thumb and fingers together. So we'll work this out and go see what we need to do.
Okay, I would make me think of if you're getting that pain in the morning, it would almost make me, my first thought was cortisol. So if that cortisol is rising in the morning, that's going to say we just need to keep working on the inflammation, and fasting is going to be where that's at, would be my thinking. So we'll talk this week when you guys get home.
Yeah, the fingers are swelled up in the mornings, pretty tight. So
I would, yeah, let me think on that for a minute. So let's figure out what's happening either through the night or into the morning that's firing you up. So let's figure that out. You're doing too good to stop now. So just, I think a lot of that is just consistency of staying consistent and staying in it. And now you're at the nitty gritty of doing that internal healing and the fasting. So good for you, Tim.
Right. And we've been at fairs and we've been tempted, and we've both pretty much stayed the course. We may have cheated a little bit, but we're going right back into a 48-hour fast. Started at 9 o'clock tonight, I think. And so we're right back on the wagon. I mean, it's not, when you feel as good as I felt after this whole journey, then a little bit of hand pain I can deal with till we get to the bottom of that and figure out what I need to do. So we're just so glad you're in good shape, Tammy.
Love his attitude.
Well, God knows we love you both.
Yep.
And Tim and Cam are part of our church family too. So they're just ones, couldn't wait to hug them today. They were part of my little emotional breakdown today.
Lots of long, awkward hugs today.
I told them they're all looking forward to
I don't know why Kim's not saying anything. She's holding the phone, but I'm driving.
I don't need to say anything.
There you go.
I just want to say I was I might have had something at the fair, not bad, but I kept hiding it. And people I seen from church and stuff, I said, Tammy's coming home. Shh. You know, they said they didn't say anything. I said, she's coming home. I have to be good. It was awesome
accountability.
to get that hug today. That made my day.
You made my day. I love you, Mama. Yeah. But all right.
Who else wants to come up?
Anybody else want to jump in? Miriam and Kate, can you guys come and say hi? I want to welcome you two into our little tribe. Are you guys still there?
I wonder if they're still there. They might be busy. Oh, I see picture. I see people.
Can you see it really high? I can't see my face.
There you are. Yep. We
Where's
can
my
hear you.
face? Can you see us? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yep.
I have pink all over the place.
We just want to say welcome to Miriam and Kate. They are the old keto chow that I was telling my whole little fire department about, or medic team about. They are keto chow. They are keto chow. So they're going to be one of them that we start having and carrying, that we're going to start sending out for you guys, and whatever we can do. So as soon as we get there, but we're happy to have them on board. They're learning, they've done keto. They know how to do keto. So we're just kind of teaching them into Dr. Boz style of keto. So it's bringing people along again that are in that journey to just learn that little bit of deeper health. And so welcome. We love you. Come jump in and say hi.
Yeah. So I'm Miriam and I've been keto for like 7 years, probably.
Nice.
And Kate's my daughter. She's 18. She just graduated. And she's been keto for about 4 years.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Wow.
And anyway, she did it all through high school, and everybody thinks she's weird, you know, because when you don't have you string cheese and your pickle and, you know, fat. So everybody's, you know, we always had all the dates came over to our house because they could make food here and they could bring their lasagna and she could have her lasagna.
And then I had one date that was pretty funny because it was me and 2 other girls. One of them, I was keto, she's gluten-free, and the other one lactose intolerant.
Yeah, so that was like, yeah,
wow.
Take out, so
but like, let's meet.
Yeah.
And when people like, I'd be at my friend's house and they'd be like, oh my gosh, let me get you something. Like, can you eat? I can eat meat. They're like, other things? I'm like, no,
bacon,
meat.
I can also eat meat.
More meat.
Very nice.
Yeah. So,
well, Kate, I just want to say I'm so proud of you. First of all, to be a kid going through high school and sticking to keto.
Absolutely.
I give you all the credit in the world because we have adults on here making excuses up one side and down the other. So I am so proud of you, girl. And stick with it. Like I said, we're just going to tweak you a little bit and get you down to Dr. Boz keto ratios, and you're going to feel like a new girl. So I am just proud of you and so happy to be on this journey with you. So good for you, girl.
Thanks. I was going to say the reason why you went to KetoCon was so you could meet me, so that you could coach my daughter.
Absolutely. That's where its hand starts moving again.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep, because she has depression and anxiety, and it's just so bad. We just need to get that higher ketone levels, lower carbs. So even though she's been real close, she hasn't been close enough to really see as big of improvements as we want. So that's what we're going for.
Yep.
Sweet.
And the advanced sections of that is, so any of my veterans are on here. I know some of you are on here. Is Dr. Boz's brains course. And just know that brain health, when that kicks in and those emotions are kicking in and you're into that deep ketosis and you get it and you're understanding all the brain work, it's all going to fall into place for you, baby girl. So don't you worry. You got
Liver.
this. Yes. Liver, all those good, yummy meat things.
Oh yeah. Do you like liver?
She's not afraid of liver.
She's not afraid.
used to, like, put it inside.
I sneak it in stuff.
Yeah.
Fine.
Whatever you need to do.
That's right.
And then they're eating dinner and they're like, what is this? I'm all chicken, shrimp, and liver and butter.
Exactly. I actually have our butcher grind up our ground beef, and he takes 10 pounds of ground beef and grinds in 3 pounds of liver, so that every time I make burgers or taco salad or anything like that, it's in the beef already and you don't taste it. I went to 4 pounds one time. My family all called me out on it, but 3 to 10 seems to be the ratio that works, that you can flavor it and season it and nobody knows it's in there. So it's all good. But
good night, Gail.
Good night, Gail. Have a good night.
Gone.
She's out of here. She's gone, Dave. But welcome. We can't wait, and it's going to be fun. And welcome on our journey.
Yep, this is our crazy Sunday night.
Yeah, no doubt. But we love you both. Anybody else want to check in? Cheryl, are you okay? Do you want to check in, hon? Or are you just watching?
Just
hang on. We got you muted. Hang on. We got you muted. You got to unmute.
Give me a thumbs up if you say you're just
There you
watching.
go. There you go. Now we can hear you.
See,
I'm glad to be here, and I'm just watching.
Okay.
All right. Awesome.
Good,
thank you.
All right. Anybody else want to check in tonight? If not, let's go through a couple things. I am going to start. We're going to have keto class tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Anybody on our keto course? We will be jumping in. 8 o'clock tomorrow night is going to be class. We're going to kind of figure out where everybody's at, because I know my brain is fried and I don't know.
We're going to reboot her brain so she can help you the most.
Everybody come on touch base tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern. Thursday, we will do brains again, as long as I don't have a doctor's appointment or anything that I have to make it in this week before I can leave for Florida the following week. So we're going to try to get this all fitted and scheduled out. But if not, just jump in, tell us what you need, what we can help you with. If there is a message that you have sent me in the last 2 weeks that I have missed or not gotten back to you, please do not hesitate to resend it. Bring it back up in the front top of my feed, because I have hundreds of messages that I'm trying to get through. So please don't hesitate if you need a consultation, if you're needing in a class that I haven't got you in yet. I know I had a few people pending, so I'm trying to go back through and find names. So please don't hesitate to resend anything. But
Diane Waller says, let's talk tomorrow about Florida.
We can do that, Diane. We can do that. I'm going to try to go. I'm just going to be there.
We've had a long discussion about that, so no, just don't think that that's been taken lightly at all. So everybody knows, opinions have been voiced, and we've talked, and we've made a decision. And
I think it would stress me more not going than to just go and go easy. So I just need to go, and we're staying there. Diane's going
to watch after. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Diane.
I love it. We got Joan down there. We got Diane down there. I'm sure we got a lot of other people. It's awesome.
It's so, and please trust me when I say I don't want to ever be that scared again. So I'm good. If I get to feeling funny, I will go to my room and hide out. So the anxiety has to stay under control. I can't stress out. I can't do any of that. So I'm good with it. It's all going to be okay. So any questions, anything I can help anybody with, let me know. Reach out, send them to me. If not, we will see you Monday night class, keto class. Thursday will be brains at 11 a.m. again. And what am I forgetting? I'm forgetting something.
That's it.
I think that's it. I
think that's it.
Then we'll get back on consultation. So we'll get going as soon as I get cardiac rehab scheduled. I will be able to schedule cardiac or consultations around it.
One more time, I'm going to say thank you to everybody for all your love, support, and blessings. We enjoyed them all and just are so happy that you're here. So happy to be a part of this awesome tribe.
We love you all. Have a great night. Reach out if you need help.
Good night, folks.
Love you.